Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Hey everyone, yeah, we take a whole bunch of recent tech news, articles, updates, and try to, pull out the really important bits for you.
Get you up to speed quickly. And today, wow, the source has covered a lot. We've got big updates from Apple's developer conference.
WWDC just happened.
Right, plus new hardware, tons on AI models, how people are actually using it, the market.
And some pretty eye-opening stuff on the security side, too. State actors using AI, cyber attacks.
Definitely mixed bag. So yeah, let's just dive right in, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, starting with the big one, Apple's WWDC. Just wrapped up today. What did the sources say was the main focus?
Well, it seems like a lot of it was about design changes and making things work better across the board. iPhone, iPad, Mac, the watch, Apple TV.
The usual OS updates then.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And some minor tweaks for the Vision Pro headset, too.
But the design stuff sounds interesting. They mentioned something called liquid glass.
Yeah. Apparently, that's the name for this new software look, going for a really glassy, maybe translucent feel across the system. A big visual refresh.
Okay, interesting. And they're changing the version numbers, too.
Uh-huh. Moving to year-based versions, so like iOS 2025, macOS 2025. Sort of simplifies things, maybe?
Makes sense. Any other hardware or accessory news? Rumors about gaming apps or pencil updates?
The sources touched on those possibilities, yeah. A dedicated gaming app, maybe, potential updates for Pencil, AirPods, the usual kind of speculation around WWDC.
Right, but here's the kicker, right? What about AI? That was the big expectation.
Exactly. And, well,
yeah,
according to several sources, the AI announcements were seen as kind of minor.
Minor, after all the hype.
Yeah, unlikely to really impress industry watchers is the feeling.
Hmm.
One source was pretty blunt, saying Apple kind of needs to own up to a pretty lackluster AI showing so far, especially, with Siri.
Ouch. That's pretty critical feedback. Shows the pressure's definitely on.
Immense pressure. Okay, shifting away from Apple for a sec. Microsoft and Asus. New handhelds.
Yeah, seems like it. 2 new ROG Xbox Ally handhelds. Builds on their existing one.
One model, the Ally X, apparently gets a better AMD chip and impulse triggers, but...
But the real story isn't the hardware spec bump.
Nope. The sources highlighted the software side. Microsoft seems to be putting serious effort into tweaking Windows, the Xbox app, Game Bar, basically making Windows actually feel good to use on a small gaming handheld.
Ah, okay. So optimizing the experience. That makes a lot of sense. Windows isn't exactly built for that form factor natively.
Exactly. Needs that polish. A couple other quick hits. Photoshop. Coming to Android?
With desktop tools, like layers and masking. That's actually pretty big for mobile creation.
Definitely. And Tesla looks like they're trying again with the robo-taxi trademark applications after earlier ones didn't stick.
They really want that name, huh? Persistent. Okay, so that's the hardware and OS side. Let's dive deeper into AI now, which was like the core of so many sources.
For sure. The landscape is just moving so fast. Performance-wise, benchmarks cited in the sources put Google Gemini 2.5 Pro at the top globally right now.
Google's leading.
In terms of raw capability,
Yeah.
seems like it based on these benchmarks. But other models like Grok 3 and DeepSeek R1 were mentioned as maybe offering better intelligence for the price. So it's not just about being the absolute best, but also efficiency.
Right, the cost factor. And Gemini's adding features too.
Yep, for subscribers. Things like scheduling tasks, getting daily summaries, summarizing events automatically. There's apparently a new scheduled actions page to manage it all, making it more proactive.
Okay, so that's the models themselves. But how are people using them? The sources talked about Claude Code, and it sounds kind of messy.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It's not like you just type a prompt and get perfect code. The sources suggest it only works first try about, a third of the time?
Only a third. Seriously.
Yeah, so teams are apparently using this sort of slot machine approach. They, commit their code often, let the AI try something, and if it's bad, they just roll back and try again.
So it's rapid iteration, almost like testing with the AI constantly.
Exactly. And the key seems to be really detailed documentation. They mentioned files like claude.md to give the AI tons of context, plus breaking big problems down into smaller bits for, sub-agents.
Structure is key then, not just throwing prompts at it.
Totally. Cloudflare apparently used Claude for almost a whole oath library this way, documenting the process in their Git history. Shows it's possible, but needs discipline.
And speaking of structure, this Model Context Protocol, MCP, what's the deal there?
This sounds like a potential step up from just APIs. It's pitched as a wire protocol for AI agents to talk directly to each other.
Like a machine language for AIs?
Kind of, yeah. The idea is to build in consistency testing, error handling, right into how they communicate. So agents can dynamically figure out what other agents can do and adapt.
So keep APIs for humans, use MCP for AI to AI stuff underneath.
That's the gist of the proposal in the sources, yeah. A more robust layer for agent integration.
We're also seeing specialized AI, right? Anthropic's Claude Gov.
hmm Specifically for U.S. national security clients, designed for handling classified data, intelligence work, cybersecurity, high stakes, high security stuff.
And there was that little rumor about Apple and Anthropic.
Oh yeah, just a tiny mention, speculation about maybe working together on some kind of vibe coding tool. No idea what that actually means though.
Vibe coding. Sounds very Silicon Valley. Quick heads up, Google's AI Studio might not be free much longer.
Yeah, sources expected to switch to an API-based model, which usually means pay to play. So something to watch if you use it.
Okay, so lots of progress, but also limitations, right? That Apple research on large reasoning models.
Yeah, that was fascinating. They gave these LRMs increasingly complex puzzles and found they basically collapse.
Collapse, like crash.
Not quite crash, but their ability to reason peaks and then actually declines as the puzzles get harder, even with plenty of computing power. They hit a wall on complex reasoning.
And this leads to a debate, doesn't it?
It does. Experts cited, like Gary Marcus, see this as proof current AI struggles with problems even a kid can solve, a fundamental gap.
But others disagree.
Yeah, people like Simon Willison argue that, okay, they failed these specific tests, but look at the progress elsewhere. Cheaper models, local models, AI using tools. These are huge new capabilities. So is it a dead end or just a temporary hurdle? That's the debate.
A really crucial question. Now, market-wise, Meta might invest big in scale AI.
Reportedly, yeah. Talks of over $10 billion. Scale's already valued at $14 billion. So
Huge.
what does that tell us?
It just screams how vital high-quality training data is now. It's the foundation, and companies are betting billions on it as a competitive edge.
And Mistral AI in Europe, doing well. It's apparently booming. Revenue nearing $100 million a year, lots of big contracts. The sources suggest this sovereignty play is working non-U.S. companies wanting alternatives, maybe influenced by politics. Business supposedly tripled recently.
Wow. Global factors really shaping the market. And AI in universities. OpenAI pushing hard.
Seems so. Selling premium services, marketing campaigns, talking about creating AI-native universities.
What does that even look like?
Things like AI assistants for everyone, custom study bots, AI recruiters, quizzing bots, embedding AI into the whole campus experience.
So it's moving beyond just tech firms into institutions.
Totally. And it's part of this broader trend the sources noted. Chatbots are often designed just to keep you talking, keep your attention. It's a battle for engagement. We see AI popping up everywhere now. Finance tools, cloud storage connectors, even AI phone agents for car dealerships.
Keep becoming integrated. Okay, let's switch gears now to something that sounds, well, almost like a spy thriller, the security angle. OpenAI taking down state-sponsored operations.
Yeah, this was pretty wild. They published a report detailing operations linked to state actors in China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran that they disrupted.
And the big takeaway wasn't just that states are using AI. It was something else, right?
Exactly. This is the really interesting part. Yes, AI helps these actors scale up, be more efficient, but it also makes them sloppier. Using the AI leaves behind this trail prompts, code snippets, errors, which means AI itself can be used to track and counter them.
The tool becomes the vulnerability. Wild. What kind of stuff were they actually doing? Any examples?
Oh yeah, the North Korean group, apparently using AI to fake remote job applications, automating resumes, researching how to bypass security for video interviews.
Using state resources to get fake tech jobs. Okay.
Word, right. Then a Chinese group called Sneer Review used AI for influence campaigns, like fake social media comments. Get this, they even use ChatGPT to write their own internal performance reviews for the operation.
No way. AI writing performance reviews for hackers. That layers is strange.
Isn't it? A Russian-speaking group, Scope Creep, used ChatGPT as a coding buddy to help build and debug Windows malware they hid in a gaming tool.
Okay, that's more expected, sadly. Using AI for malware dev.
And another Chinese group, Uncle Spam, was generating polarizing content for U.S. audiences supporting both sides of divisive issues like tariffs, using AI images for fake personas.
Just trying to stir the pot, basically. Using AI to amplify division.
Seems like it. And a Filipino PR firm used AI to spam social media for politicians, even creating nasty nicknames for opponents.
So a whole range of misuse. But it all comes back to that idea. Their AI usage leaves tracks.
Exactly. Those logs are like gold for researchers monitoring them.
Now, shifting slightly, the sources also mentioned some U.S. cybersecurity policy changes under the Trump administration.
Yes, there were reports noted about rolling back certain policies. One was an order about public benefit programs accepting digital IDs,
And another one.
also repealing a policy related to sanctions for cyber attacks against the U.S., just relaying what the sources reported on these changes, of course.
Understood. Meanwhile, real-world attacks continue. That grocery startup, Kirana Pro.
Yeah, sounds like a bad one. Got hacked, all their data wiped from GitHub. Company suspects a former employee, but sources say an external hack isn't ruled out.
And it was a decent-sized operation.
Impacted tens of thousands of customers, thousands of daily orders across many cities. Big disruption.
So, with all this, how do we protect stuff? Any positive examples?
The Guardian newspaper worked with Cambridge University on a secure messaging feature in their app for journalists to protect sources. And importantly, they apparently released the source code.
Open sourcing security tools. Good approach.
Seems like it. And on the flip side, testing defenses. There's this hacker prompt competition.
What's the goal there?
Trying to jailbreak AI models, get them to bypass safety rules and give out dangerous info, like how to make poison or worse. Stress testing the safety measures.
A risky way to find flaws, but maybe necessary. Okay, deep breath. We've gone from Apple's new look, through the weeds of AI development and market battles, to state hacking and security defenses. There are a few other quick, interesting snippets in the sources too, right?
Yeah, a couple of hopeful or just plain interesting ones. One was a potential breakthrough on an HIV cure.
Oh, wow, really?
Researchers apparently found a way to force the virus out of its hiding spots in white blood cells. Still very early stages, needs tons more testing animal than human trials to see if the immune system can then clear it or if more help is needed. But, a big step.
That's amazing news, fingers crossed. And something about EV charging, BYD.
Yeah, they're pushing the limits on fast charging. Their 1,000 kilowatt chargers can supposedly add almost 250 miles of range in just 5 minutes.
5 minutes? That's practically gas station speed. How?
Sources point to their vertical integration. They designed the cars, the chargers, and the batteries. Lets them optimize the whole system together.
Makes sense, controlling the whole stack. A note for developers. Android apps.
Yeah, just a point that maintaining an Android app apparently takes way more effort than server-side stuff. Something for hobbyists maybe to keep in mind.
Good practical tip. And a final thought on SaaS, software as a service.
Just a reminder from the sources that sometimes it can feel like vendor lock-in with better branding.
Meaning the cost isn't just money.
Right. Integrating third-party services costs time, creates friction points, adds mental load. It's always a trade-off.
So true. Okay, well, we have covered a ton of ground today, from shiny Apple interfaces to the complex world of AI, state-sponsored hacking, security, even potential medical breakthroughs, and EV charging.
It really shows how fast everything is moving and how interconnected it all is.
Absolutely. So, building on all that, especially the AI integration and security challenges we talked about, here's a final thought for you to chew on this week. Given how fast AI is weaving into everything, education, security, our daily tools, and seeing how it can be misused, how do you think we should strike that balance? Balancing the push to adopt these powerful tools with the need for real security and just critical thinking. Should we be going back to basics on secure communication and solid development alongside the AI boom? Or is AI itself the main defense now? And maybe more personally, what level of security, what level of data control are you actually comfortable with as AI gets deeper into your life?
Definitely some big questions to think about.
For sure. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.